Chaire moi and salve. This is Dave. If you're interested in learning Latin or ancient Greek, just look in the description for information on how to contact me. And in the meantime, we're translating the Homeric hymn to Hermes. We're about almost 1/6 of the way through. And we just finished this part here on line 89 that says that the firstborn Erikudeos, the firstborn, fame-bringing son of Maya, addressed him being an old man that he came across. The old man made the mistake of witnessing him driving the stolen cattle of Apollo across the field. And so Hermes felt the need to say something to him. And so here is what he says. He says, O geron hosteputas. Okay, we'll try this again. O geron hosteputas kaptes epikampoulos ou omus e poluoineses eut antadapanta peresi e kepidemala permenemenos enfresisesi kai te idon me idon inai kai kopos akusas kai sigan hoteme kai sigan hoteme kat try again kai sigan hoteme tikata blapte tonsonautu. Okay, so apologies. I'm just kind of winging it when it comes to the dactylic hexameter, and sometimes I nail it and sometimes I don't, right? So, O old man, he says, hostepfutaskaptes, who is digging your plants. Okay, the old man was building a vineyard, according to the earlier verses. And then it calls him, the old man, epikampoulos omus, which is to say, bent with respect to your shoulders. Okay? There's like a accusative of respect in Greek, kind of like the ablative of respect in Latin. So bent over with respect to your shoulders. Okay, so old man bent with bent shoulders, who is digging your plants with bent shoulders. E poluoineses. So the a here, this is not the a that means or than. It is the a that means indeed, very much. Okay, and then we get this verb poluoineo. And if you ever want to tell someone in ancient Greek, oh, I am rich in wine, you say poluoineo. And this is the only place this verb ever appears in the existing corpus of ancient Greek text that we actually have, that has survived, which makes it what we call a hapax legomenon, which is to say that it appears only once, okay? So indeed, you, and this is a future tense form that it appears in. So you will be rich in wine, okay? Eut antade pante peresi, whenever, eut is when, and on is kind of like a if or whether, right? Whenever, tade panta, all of these peresi, when all of these bear fruit, pointing to the vineyard he's setting up, basically, and all the grape plants that he's pointing to. And then he gives the conditions. E kepite malaper memnemenos enfresisesi. Okay, if kite, you might have noticed we have this verb peitho, to persuade, and then we also have peitomai, to obey, and this form, if it were spelled out completely, this is one of the very frustrating things about Greek, right? If it were spelled out completely, this form would be pitesai, meaning you obey. If you obey. But unfortunately, the sigma drops out, and then all the vowels get rammed together, and it's very hard to recognize the ending for what it actually is, but that's what it is. So if you obey, okay, malaper memnemenos. Mimnesco means to remind someone, but in the middle, which is what this is a middle participle, it means like calling to mind or reminding yourself, right? So, and malaper is like very, very, okay? So if you obey, very much keeping in mind, in your mind, and fresi sesi, your fresi is like the middle of your body, right? Your chest. which is where your thoughts were according to the ancient Greeks. So as long as you keep in mind, right, in your you know, in, I guess we would say like in your head, but they would say in your chest or in your midriff, okay? Kai te idon me idon enai, both to enai, to be not seeing, me idon, despite seeing, idon, okay, to be not seeing, though seeing, and kopos, deaf, though hearing. Okay, so he's telling him, like, pretend none of this happened. You didn't see anything, right? Kai sigan, and to be silent. Sigao is one of our verbs if you've been following our vocabulary series, right? To be silent. Hote me ti katablapte tosonauton. So blapto is actually one of our verbs also. That's from Athanadza, and it means blapto is to harm, and katablapto is just a variation on that. So, and to be quiet, hote me ti kat, since nothing, right? Me ti katablapte, nothing, or so long as nothing harms toson autu, your, your own things, right? Your own, what belongs to you. So just keep it a secret, will you? Just as long nobody's, you haven't been hurt by this. Just please pretend that you didn't see any of this. Okay. So then we get toson fas sunesiu eboon ipthima karena. And fas, this is fami, but it's the participle, present act. So, and saying this much, sunesiu he he urged on together the ipthina karena, the stout head boon of cattle. Okay. Poladores gioenta kai aulon nas keladenus kai pediantemoenta di elas kudimos hermes. So, for this, we have to jump all the way to the end here. Kudimos hermes is our subject. Fame bringing Hermes, di elase, he drove. Elauno is one of our verbs in our stack, and this is just elauno. He drove through. So he drove. So fame bringing Hermes drove them through Poladore Scioenta, through many shade casting mountains. Okay. Kai aulonas keladenus, and loud echoing aulonas, hollows. Kai pedi antemoenta, and antemoenta, blossoming pedia, plains. Okay, so that's so far it's just Hermes getting as far away from the scene of the crime as possible with his cattle, his 50 stolen cows, and I don't know if you want to say he's threatening or bribing the old man, telling him, hey, if you keep your mouth shut, I'm sure that your vineyard will do very well. You will what's the verb again? The polu oine says you will be rich in wine if you just do what I say. So we'll end it there. If you're interested in ancient Greek or Latin, please do contact me. It's something that I love to do on evenings and weekends. And until next time, Wale.